Okay, guys, we're back on. I think I'm going to do the machines kind of last, okay? I'm going to tell you a little bit about court reporting and what this class is going to entail, okay? I'll tell you a little bit about myself too. I've been court reporting 26 years, like I told you guys. I've been with the county 23 years. Guys, it's a great job. I mean, anybody that works in the courts can tell you it's good. It's worth it, okay? But, you know, like every good thing, it comes at a price, okay? I got started in it. Believe it or not, this is my first indoor job ever, okay? And, you know, to tell you a little bit about myself, my parents always instilled in us that you're gonna work. So at a young age, like 7 years old, we started hauling hay for a living. That's what my grandfather did. So that's what I did, you know, and then I graduated to working with my uncle who owned his own business, shoveling concrete. Okay, so my parents instilled in me, and it's all gonna be relative. It probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense to you right now, but it'll be relative once I explain everything to you. That it's all about TCB, taking care of business. Okay, and no one rides for free. Okay, so they instilled in us that one, you're either gonna learn to trade, and you can either take over your uncle's business or your grandfather's business, or it's going to teach you that you need to stay in school, okay? So we've always played sports. We always played baseball. And not to pat my own back, I was actually pretty good. I had some scholarship offers. But when I was a sophomore in high school, Geneva, the court reporter that I was talking about, her dad talked to me about this because I really didn't know what I wanted to do. Talked to me about court reporting, and I had taken a typing class in high school when I was a sophomore because my mom knew that I would need it to type up my papers. I was actually good at it. I was doing like 90 words a minute on a typewriter. You know, and as an athlete and stuff like that, it's not the cool thing to do, you know, so I got some ribbon about it. But, you know, I was good at it. My parents thought that it would be about the same thing, so they got Mr. Gonzalez to talk to me about it. And it just sounded interesting. My parents didn't know anything about court reporting other than they knew that he made good money. That was it. So we got to talking to me about it. My dad and I came up to the school. It was a school that was on Fredericksburg Road with your wife. Went to school with your wife. And this was a long time ago. I mean, this was in '86. And my dad and I came and looked at that school. Sounded interesting. He made it sound really interesting. And at that time, it was 100% that they would find you a job. I don't know that it's that high now, but I'd say it's in the 80s that you can find a job. It may not be here in San Antonio, but if you're willing to move, holy cow. I mean, there's job openings all the time, okay? So, got some scholarship offers, and I knew that I wasn't good enough to make it to the pros. You know, and that's a 1%, you know, of thousands and thousands of people to do it. So I wasn't kidding myself. It's like, you know what, I want to make money. I'm ready to make money, go to school. So I knew what I wanted to do. You know, went to school, whatever. And the thing that my parents instilled in us from a very young age is there's no quit, okay? You start something, you finish it. You get to the end, you don't like it, then you do what you want, but you see it through, okay? And we played on a little league team that wasn't very good. And it'll make sense later too. But my brother and I played on a team that wasn't very good, and we lost every game. So we lost about the first 3 or 4 games, and we knew we weren't gonna win. So we told my dad, you know what, we wanna quit. My dad said no. He said, you gave that man, which was the coach, you gave that man your word when you signed up that you would see it through. You're gonna see it through. Now next year, if you don't wanna be on this team, we'll get on a different team. This year, you're gonna finish. Okay, we saw it through. We didn't win 1 game. Not one. Whatever. So now it comes to this. That, what my parents instilled in me, is what got me through court reporting school. Because I guarantee I would have quit. We started with one of the largest classes. I don't know that they would appreciate me telling you this, but like I said, I'm not the sugar, I don't sugarcoat anything. We started with one of the biggest classes. It was 68 students. You know how many of us finished?
4.
5. 5 people out of 68 finished. So the dropout rate in school is about 90%. 90. So look at this, and who's going to be the 10%? You know? And I'm telling you guys, it doesn't take the smartest person. Exhibit A. It takes the most dedicated person. That's all it takes, okay? And I realized that once I got to the end, that it was going to be worth it, and that's what got me through it, was what my parents had instilled in me of the no quit. You get to the end, you don't like it then, and I tell you what, if you like it in school and you make it fun, which I'm hoping to do, make it fun to learn, help each other, feed off of each other, you're going to make it. Misery loves company. You ever heard that? Don't get caught up in, gee, and geez, and geez, No. My theory is, take something from that day, every day, regardless of what it is. You take one positive thing from that day, you're going to be all right. You're going to make it. You take a negative thing from that day, all you've done is taken a step back. Now you've got to take 2 tomorrow to get back to where you were, is the way that I see it, okay? Stay positive, okay? And it could be a little thing. And the thing about this, and you'll find out later, is the taking test, and the human mind isn't made for failure, okay? We're not built that way. We're not built, you get beat down, sooner or later you just give up. And that's what people do in this profession. They give up because you think that you're losing every day because you're taking tests every day and you're failing. That's a relative term, failing. It's not really failing, okay? Maybe you learned a new brief that day. Maybe the day before you made an 86, but today you made an 87 or an 88. You know what? I'm getting it. But people just see it as failure, and that's not what it is. It's taking the little piece of positive every day and being able to move on and get through. That's what's going to get you through school, okay? If you think for 1 second that you're going to come to school and eventually you're going to get out, in about 9 years when you're still coming to school and people are asking you why you're still coming to school, because this profession is, it's based on when you get it. It's not based on, hey, it's a 4-year program or it's a 2-year program. No. It's when you actually get to that speed of 225. Y'all all know that the speed is 225, right? Do y'all? If you don't, it's 225. 225 words a minute on that machine. And it'll start making sense once I get to explaining the machine and whatnot, but that's what it takes to get out, okay? And I'm gonna push you to that limit. And if you think that coming to school is enough, it's not. I mean, I think on average you should probably be practicing 2 hours a day. I do. Ms. Woodard talked about Sarah Murphy. Sarah Murphy got out in 52 weeks. Guys, that's unheard of. That is absolutely unheard of. But if you ever talk to Sarah, you ever get a chance to talk to her, and she looks like you guys. She doesn't look any different than anybody else. She doesn't. The only thing that she had was she was homeschooled by her parents. So she had that different mentality of get things done. And you know, it sounded like her parents were very structured. She had like a structured life, you know, and she used to practice 8 hours a day. Coming to school wasn't part of that 8 hours, okay? She used to practice 8 hours a day, and I would talk to her, whatever, and she's like, Dave, you know, some days I would practice 7 hours, and I felt like I was cheating myself.
Okay. I'm going, do you need anything?
No,
All right.
no, we're good.
Y'all got the machine?
Thank you
good?
guys, thank you
Good?
for coming.
Get
Thank
the
you.
machine empty.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that last.
Okay.
So once we turn off, then we'll just be off. And
Night. Good night. Oh, make sure the lock blocks are off and the door's locked.
I will.
Thank you.
I will. You need anything else from the students? Did you get?
Ms. Woodard wasn't able to copy the mentorship form, so as many people as can fill them out. If you want mentors, go ahead and fill them out. She has a master copy that she'll be able to make copies of. So the next year in class, I'm coming to the ADC program, so I'll be here all the time. I'll be able to pick them up whenever. So it doesn't matter when you fill them out.
Is 8 to 6 going to be on Thursday night?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'll be here on Thursday
There's
night.
8. Does everybody want a mentor? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna hand them out, and then, you know, the rest of them, I'll just start here. No, you know what, I'll just start here. You don't need a mentor, right? You look pretty mentally strong.
Well, you talk about, like, you know, those weak moments. I mean, I get there, or I
Everybody
out there
does.
a lot.
Everybody does. You know, and I'm gonna talk about that too. You're golden. You're golden.
I just need someone to push me a little bit.
And they will. I'm
Even though
sure
I
that's
love
why
my
I'm here.
reporter friends that are pushing me already.
That's why I'm here. So, thank you guys. What was I talking about?
52 weeks, I was saying how easy the class was.
Oh, the 52 weeks, and yeah, and it's super easy. So if you buy the cassette, you just fast forward past the air conditioning and refrigeration and get to court reporting, and you can do it. Okay?
Hypnosis.
Yeah, yeah. But she used to practice 8 hours a day, and when she used to, thank you. When she used to practice 7 hours a day, she felt like she was cheating herself. Guys, 8 hours a day, I mean, that's a full-time job. Don't get me wrong, I don't expect that of you guys, okay? I don't. You know, and I know that you have kids, you have families, you have other obligations, full-time jobs, and it happens, guys. Coming to class at this time is tough enough. You know, you've been at work all day, you know, some of you, and then to come here for another 3 hours is gonna be trying, okay? And then to go home and practice another, I'd say at least an hour. I think that you should too, but it's gonna be tough. The times that you're gonna need to practice is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And this is like a job. This is going to engulf you like nothing ever has, okay? It's gonna consume your life. But like Miss Woodard said, Sarah didn't have a life for 1 year. She gave up her complete life almost for 1 year. But she knew what she wanted, and she got there. And you ask her how much money she's making now, I don't know that she'll give you the right figures, but she's making, and she's doing freelance. She's doing freelance. So, I mean, it's good. It's really good. And yeah.
Last year, well, the year before last when I was here, she hadn't been a court reporter, but certified but a very few months. And she did some things, you know, personal things, vacation, la la la, you know, and she still cleared $9,000 after expenses, even though she went on a couple of trips and whatever it was that she did.
And I'll tell you that, and I don't usually make this public, guys, and it's not something that I'm bragging about. And Roland, right? Mm-hmm. And Roland can attest to it because he's married to a court reporter. We make over $100,000. That's our base salary. I think it's 103, 104. You can go on the county thing. It's county business, I guess. You know, you can go on there and see what a court reporting position pays. That's what Bear County pays.
How long
Okay.
did it take you, David?
It took me 4 years to get through school. And I'll be honest with you guys, I messed around for about a year. You know, I was 18 years old, right out of high school. I had moved up here with my best friend from high school. He didn't know what he wanted to do, so we were just here. And like I was focused at first, and then it was like, got to meet some friends, didn't really know anybody here. I knew, you know, Geneva's family, knew them. Those were the only ones. And, you know, I took school serious for about a year and a half. And then I messed around for about a year, which I don't really regret it, because it was something that I think I needed to get out of my system. So I think I did it the right way. But when I was ready, it was like, get it in gear. And that's when I got it in gear and I got out. You know, and they say that the average person will take the state test 3 times. It's the hardest thing you'll ever do. Other than, that's probably the hardest thing you'll ever do. This is probably the second hardest, is learning it and then getting up there. Because it's a 4-part test. It's a written test that I think is 100 questions. I think it's 100 questions. And the 3 studying materials that they gave us were Webster's Dictionary, Black's Law Dictionary, and Stedman's Medical Dictionary. Those are your 3 study guides. An old test. And you have 100 questions on anything, from punctuation to legal terms, medical terms, procedure, anything. And I think you have to make a 75 on that. And then you have a 3-part machine test. You have Q&A at 225, jury charge at 200, literary at 180. And you have to pass all 3 of those at 95% or better. So let's just say, for argument's sake, you make 200s. I don't think it's possible to make 100. I don't think. But let's just say, for argument's sake, you make 200s and a 94, you fail. And you don't get to pass it in legs. You pass all 3 machine tests at the same time, or you fell. So there's very little room for error in this profession. The 95 is because for human error, you know, and you're gonna make mistakes. I mean, and it happens, and you'll see once we get started. But it's hard, and they say that the average human person will take it 3 times. So.
How much are these tests?
Well, when I went and took it in '92, I think it was 150.
Oh gosh, that means it's like
So it's probably 8,000 now. No, I don't know. I don't know. It's probably, you know, $200. But I mean, you have to go take it several
And
times.
if I fail it, what is the soonest I can take it?
3 months, 4 months. I think they give it every quarter. I think they do. You know what? It may be only 3 times a year now. 'Cause I think they used to give it back when I did it. They took it. They get it every quarter, and I think you could only take it 3 times, fail it, then you had to get recertified, go back to school, get recertified to be able to go back and take it again. I don't know if it's still that way or not,
How do
but
you get certified to take the test?
you have to be certified by an accredited school.
Oh, okay.
So this is one. So you can't just say, well, I'll just watch some videos on here and how to do court reporting and then go take the test. No. So it's hard. Another thing I'll tell you, and just to kind of get it out of the way, cheating, you can cheat all you want. I don't really care. You know, when I ask you to do something, when I ask you to do the homework and you cheat, all you're cheating is yourself. Okay? I don't really care. Even if I know that you're cheating, I may call you out just because I may like to do that, but I may not. Because you know what? I don't really care. It's going to come out later. It's going to come out later that you really didn't know what you thought you were doing because you cheated. You're only cheating yourself. Okay? This is not the type of thing where you can cheat. And you think that I'll catch you sooner or later. They'll really catch you there. There's no possible way to cheat on that exam up there. So you can do it here all you want and then get up there and go take that test 14 times. And guess who's going to look like the fool? So it's better just to do it. And I'm not saying anybody is. I'm just saying don't let that enter your mind. Don't get caught up in the negativity. Stay positive. We'll get through it. Everything is going to be fine. Okay? Any questions?
Do you have to go back and recertify? Or what's your...
No, you have to get continuing education points every 2 years. So you have to go to seminars, stuff like that, and they have them all the time. They have them like in Vegas. They have cruises.
Cruises,
You can go on a cruise. You can go. God, they had one in New Orleans. They had one in New York. And guys, let me tell you, one, it's a write-off, and that's what you want is write-offs once you get out, because the more you make, I don't know if Uncle Sam has ever explained this to you or not, but the more you make, the more he wants in his pocket too. So the more write-offs you get, the better it is. Okay? So it works out, trust me. And it's fun. They're a lot of fun. You meet people from all over the place. It's pretty cool. And you get to stay up like on upcoming legislation, stuff like that. So I mean, you stay on the brink of it on, you know, new software stuff that's coming out, new machines, everything. They have every trinket, you know, gadget there. I mean, so it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And you know, you can take your family and stuff and kind of write some stuff off. And
Linda's never taken me for some reason.
I mean, no families, no kids. But I mean, and it's fun, guys. It really is. Okay. So, any questions up to now? So for those of you that don't really know about court reporting, everything that's done is done on that machine. I don't know the cat that created that thing, but everything's done in phonetics, by the way it sounds rather than by the way it's actually spelled. Okay? So that's what allows you to do the speed at which you can. Okay? And they taught us in school that the average human mind, average, and I'm not bragging on myself. I don't think that I'm average, because my mind is going all the time. I mean, it's ridiculous. Thinks in 900 words a minute. The average human mind thinks in 900 words a minute. The fastest that I think that anybody has ever topped out is about 300 words a minute on the machine. And it's a cat, and you'll hear his name a lot, Mark Hisslingberry. He's like the guru of court reporting. He even made up his own theory. I don't understand it. That's a topic for another day over pizza. But he created his own theory. But this guy has a brief for everything. Everything. You'll understand briefs, you know, once we get going or whatever. But so I mean, like somebody can walk into my courtroom, and I'm what they call, it's called writing. So when you're on the machine, it's called writing. And I can be sitting there writing, and you know, a buddy will come in. It's like, hey, you want to go have lunch? Yeah, you know. And these guys are fighting, you know. And I'm taking it down. It's, yeah, we'll go have lunch. And I'm talking to him, and I'm listening to the conversation and still getting what they're saying. It's crazy. And once you get in it, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But so everything's done in phonetics. So if you're a great speller, it's going out the window. I'm telling you, I used to be pretty good. Now, I mean, I was looking up at effect. Is that EFF?
I get that all the time.
Is it one F? Is it two Fs? Is it, you know, and I mean, it just, wow, it really gets bad. But it doesn't really matter. And you guys are so much further in front of the curve than I was, or you can even talk to Linda, than we were. I mean, computers were just coming out when we got on it. You guys are so much more advanced. And you know, once you get out of theory, then you'll take my Eclipse class, which is the software class, and I'll teach you some things in here about the software, because I don't think some of the other, and y'all are really lucky. I mean, not just to have me, but I mean, I teach the software side of the class, so I'm going to be able to teach you some things about putting stuff in your dictionary and building your dictionary, and it's going to be good and fun, okay? So that's what we want to do, is make it fun, okay? And help each other. Help each other. Don't bring each other down. Help each other, okay? And you'll understand as I go along too.
David, question, when you were talking about the dictionary, and for those of us who are going to be borrowing equipment,
Yeah.
is that something that goes into the software that we can just transition into our own equipment?
So the good thing about it, and they're way smarter than us, is that they created this software where it's a student version. So it only allows you to do so much, but they want you to only do so much because they don't want you to make money off of it. So there's only certain things that you can do, but building your dictionary is one of them. So you're going to be able to build your dictionary to the point when you get out, you're going to be able to download your dictionary onto a external hard drive and just put it right in. And it's going, guys, you're going to be so much more ahead of everything than we were, you know? And look where I am. And I'm not saying I was the smartest guy, but I made it work. So, you know, it's just dedication. Does everyone have a laptop? Everyone knows that you need a laptop.
How soon will we need the laptop?
Monday. Yeah. Monday or Tuesday. We're going to get going, guys. And we're only here 3 days. So it's going to be from 6 to about 8:30-ish. Sometimes 9, maybe a little after 9 on days that we're into something and we're not. I don't think it's good for us to stop. And there may be days that, you know what, I think we've done enough and we've covered enough. On days that we get out early, it's not, hey, all right, go home, sit by the TV. No, those are days, the one you either stay here and practice what we went over or go home and set up and practice what we went over, okay? So you should be putting that time in, okay? You're gonna hear this a lot, guys, a lot. If you think that you're coming to class and just gonna do class, I'll see you next semester.
Should there be a preferred laptop? I mean, I have a Mac, and I know some of the systems might not work well.
I
with
think one of them,
whatever.
I think Mac was one that
She said
doesn't
Mac.
really work with it. Yeah, and you know, but there's a support line where you can call, and once we get the software, you'll get the support line, and you can call support. It's not going to do you any good to call them now because you're not in the system, so they're going to, we don't see you, we're not helping you, you know, so they're not going to help you guys until you're in the system. But once you get in there, they may be able to figure it out and show you, but we've had a lot of problems with them, with Macs.
Because like logging into San Antonio College in general, Mac, yeah, if you go through the, what is it, Safari, but if I
Yeah.
went through Google Chrome,
Yeah.
I got in without a problem.
Yeah.
On my Mac.
Yeah.
So maybe it
And
might be the
that's,
same thing.
yeah, and it may be. It may be. So, you know, I just know that some of the students have had problems with it. So, but you need it. You're gonna need that. You need a laptop, and you're gonna need the machine every week. You're gonna need a pad, a good pen every week, and you're jotting down notes all the time. You
Can we
know,
use the
practicing
pencil?
stuff. No. What part of pen did you not understand? Did I
I'm
stutter?
just saying.
You need a writing utensil. I don't care if you bring one of those feathers with it that you dip in ink, whatever. Charcoal, chalk.
I'm just trying to be, you know,
I know.
extra
Difficult.
here.
Yeah, difficult.
No,
I get it.
extra.
I get it.
Extra,
I get it.
Read all about it.
So yeah, you're gonna need that every week. Okay? Come in, set up, be ready to go.
Should we bring like a keyboard, like frame it, Mr. Zate? A to Z gave us like a keyboard, like a page, yeah, like that. We all have one.
That's gonna be your keyboard right there. And I'm gonna move it to the other class, okay? And once you get your machines, for those of you that have never seen a machine, has everyone at least seen a machine?
See it now.
Hey guys, when I ask you a question, I expect a real answer, okay? And don't be scared to ask a question, okay? Because if you're thinking it, somebody else is probably thinking it too. They just don't want to ask either. The dumbest question is the one not asked. Now, if you keep asking that same dumb question over and over, you may have some problems then, but the dumbest question is the one not asked, guys. Okay, so if you don't understand something, and don't be embarrassed, okay? The only one that's allowed to make fun of anybody is me. And I'm gonna make fun of people a lot, okay?
Yes,
but it's to laugh.
You already did with me.
That's
Well,
just,
this wasn't the first time.
that's just, yeah,
we've
that's
had
just a tip
conversations in the
of
past.
what's coming, okay? But it's, you know, it's to laugh, guys. That's all it is. It's not to make fun of anybody. So if I hurt your feelings, you know, come and tell me. You know, hey, sir, I don't appreciate that. You know, and you can pull me off to the side, whatever. And I won't pick on you anymore, okay? But I think that, you know, when we laugh and we make fun of stuff and we do stuff, it's gonna make it fun. And that's what learning is. It's when you make it fun, you're really gonna get it. Guys, this thing is like building a house. Theory is the foundation, okay? And if you don't have a good foundation, that house is not gonna be any good. And if you get a half of a foundation and you get out, you somehow trick me and get out of this class and pass it, and you don't have your theory down pat, it's only going to hurt you, okay? And I understand that things happen, kids get sick, people get sick, things happen. You know what? It's cold today. I don't feel like getting out. I'll just watch the video. Help yourself, okay? And when you don't get it, and then you forget to ask the questions on Monday, and then all of a sudden we're going over stuff. I don't remember that, and I don't remember any of that. And there's nothing like being here, right?
Yes.
That's a substitute for it. Because things are gonna happen. Things are gonna happen to your computer. Things are gonna, well, it's not coming out, sir, and the S isn't coming out. You know what? Because you're pressing T. That's why. It keeps coming up T. It's this one. Oh. You know, stuff like that. Silly little stuff that doesn't make sense to you because you don't know about this enough is going to hurt you. So coming to school is vital. And it all goes back to hurting yourself. And I'm not saying it's cheating, but it's only hurting you. You paid for the class. I've had students in the past that say, got here 30 minutes late, sir. I'm gonna need to leave a little early. Can I? There's a door. Help yourself. We're not in high school. I don't care whether you come or not. I do, but I don't. And if you take the I don't care attitude, you know who really doesn't care? This guy. I want to teach the ones who want to learn. That's the ones I want to teach. The other ones that are going to disrupt the class and are going to come in late, leave early, watch the videos 2 weeks later asking questions about stuff that we saw 2 weeks ago, I don't have time for it, guys. I don't. And it's probably going to get to a point where in the beginning I'm going to help you. Then it's going to get to a point where I'm going to tell you, figure it out. Probably. Okay? That goes back to the wasting people's time. Okay? You have to want to do this in order to be able to get through this. Okay? And trust me, guys, you meet me 100% and I'll go 200 for you. And people say, well, it's not really possible to go 200. I will. I'm the guy that if you're working at about, I don't usually go to bed till about 1. So if you're working on stuff and it's like 11:30, he's gonna be asleep. No, he's not. Text me. Hey, sir, I'm doing this and this isn't happening. Try this. Oh, okay, yeah. That's the ones that I want to teach. That's the ones that matter to me, is the ones that are doing stuff. And even on the weekends, on Friday, Saturday, you know what, and trust me guys, the weekends are mine. The weekends, I work to live. I don't live to work. Does that make sense? So what I do, and I love what I do, and to me it's not a job, it's a profession. So once you get out, it's a profession. And you'll see, once you get to that end, you'll see, it's not a job anymore. A job is like Wendy's, and I'm not making fun of those cats either. We need people at Wendy's, because I like Wendy's a lot, you know? Anybody can get a job at Wendy's. Not anybody can get a job doing this, okay? That's the difference. That's the difference, is the profession. Now it's a profession, okay? Then you'll be able to take pride in it, okay?
So back to that machine there.
Yeah. And it's gonna make sense later. We're not getting into it tonight,
Oh,
but this is what it looks like. So if you wanna come up and take a picture of it, you can. For those of you from A to Z, you already know it. So it's not gonna hurt you. It's only gonna help you, because I'm gonna go through the whole thing slow for everybody, and it's gonna make sense. And maybe you miss some stuff or whatever. Maybe I explain it a little bit differently. You learn something, so it's not gonna hurt you. Don't get frustrated with, oh, Jesus, now we gotta wait for these other cats to do this stuff that we've already done. No, don't look at it that way. Look at it positive. Look at it positive. Okay, you know what? Maybe I'll learn something. And if I don't, then I'm just gonna be able to practice the stuff that I'm doing. Okay? Okay. I think what we're going to do is kind of pass out the machines now, because I think it's going to probably take a little while. If we have time, then we'll go through some stuff. I didn't want to overdo it today. I wish that we would have come tomorrow and we could have gotten started today, but you know, it is what it is, okay? We're going to make the most of our time when we're here, so don't think that, you know, he's only going to keep us an hour. That ain't going to happen, okay? We're here 3 days. You paid for the 3 hours, more than likely you're gonna get it. And then some, okay? So, it'll be good. Any questions?
So when you say we will start Monday, full blown, like where does this class start?
Monday
What's the first thing?
is right here, the book. We're gonna start chapter 1 Monday. And chapter 1 is explaining court reporting, which I just did. So I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time on that, because I just kind of explained it to you, okay? So we're not gonna spend a whole lot of time on that. Then it's gonna be, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to pass out the machines, and then we're gonna go about setting up the machines. So that's another part of it that we're gonna get through tonight. So that's part of lesson 1 too. So we're kind of doing some of lesson 1 that if I've already gone through it, we're not gonna go through it again on Monday, okay? And then, you know, there'll be some stuff on Monday. Sir, the machine goes upside down or right side up, whatever. We'll get through it, okay? It'll be okay, all right? Any questions?
I have a
Guys.
question, but it's a simple one.
Yeah.
Could the pack that we got of the books, do we just need to bring this one, or do I need to bring the whole pack?
I'd bring all of them. If you get one, and it may come with like this, real-time professional dictionary, guys, this thing is amazing. And you can, if you don't get it, don't worry about it. I'll let you use this one. But what it has is like every doggone word, I think, in the English language, almost. And it shows you how to stroke it out. So it doesn't necessarily give you a brief. So when I say stroke it out, stroke is what we do on the machine. And what makes this different than like a typewriter is that you can press every key at one time. There's 23 keys, I think, on the machine.
Yes.
Yeah, ish, with the asterisk and whatever. So you can press them all down at one time if you wanted to. That's what makes it different. You know, and one stroke, like you can hit this right here, and it could stand for a letter or a word. You can do two, and now it can stand for a letter or a word or a phrase. That's what makes it different, is you can write phrases, like you can write, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, in one stroke. One stroke. Beyond a reasonable doubt, preponderance of the evidence, at this time, at that time, I don't know. All of these are called briefs. And it'll make more sense once I start getting into it, but that's what these things are for, okay? All of your beginning sounds are these four fingers right here on your left hand. So right here, every beginning sound that you can make. So there's not a word in the English language that you can't stroke on this machine. I don't care if it's supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I really don't care. You can stroke that out, okay? And even, you know, some of the pharmaceutical names that are that long, doesn't matter. And it may have 28 letters in it, but it only has 3 syllables. You can write a 28-lettered word in 3 syllables. Boom, boom, boom. It'll make more sense later, but whatever. Then you have your vowels, and then you have every ending sound that you can make. Now you see that not every letter is present. So one letter can stand alone, but 2 letters can make another letter. And I'll just tell you without getting too far into it, TP is F. It doesn't make sense now, but it will. And PH is M. KWR is Y. So HR is L, PB is B, TK is D. It'll make more sense later, but that's how they do it. That's how and that's what the practice is going to come into, and that's what the A to Z kind of taught people. And it's okay if you didn't take the A to Z. It's no big deal, guys. I'm going to teach you how to do it, okay? So it's no big deal. You're going to get to where these people are, and it's going to make sense, okay? Any questions about anything? Time, structure,
laptops?
Sir?
Anything you recommend? Computer, laptop, tablet?
I mean, I have an HP and I like it. But I mean, you can use anything, man.
Tablets?
Almost. Yeah.
Okay, I've got plenty of those. I can use.
Yeah. You could probably use a tablet. I mean, some of them have worked. You know, and the thing about it is, guys, and it's, you do what you want, but when that thing's that big and you're like, you know, I mean, look at this. I'm an old man, but, and if they made one with a 50-inch TV screen, I'd do it, you know.
I did come in late today. I work until 6.
Sure.
So that was my misunderstanding, I guess, of the
Yeah.
punctuality
Mhm.
situation. But I did hear something about textbooks.
Mhm.
What were you all saying about not having, or they were,
You need this book.
right? Can you get them at the bookstore, or
There's a paper
or is there a shortage?
Did you get the paper to
I
tell
got
them the?
I got the paperwork, so I saw
You have
like
to
an
call that
email or
800
whatever.
number.
Yeah.
There's an 800 number, then Ed.
And it's best to call her in the
I don't think so.
morning.
I thought that they did, but I mean, and I can ask some of the other court reporters and see if they would loan them out to you guys. I mean, and you know, really, I mean, if you don't have to spend the $220, don't worry about the money so much right now, guys.
Let me get a loan.
Because it's your money. Because it's your money, I really don't care. But you'll be able to sell the book back to somebody, whether it's another court reporting student or not. So, I mean, you know, if you pay $220 and you get $150 back for it, you know, you're still not that bad off. So, yeah.
You can order them through the bookstore, but the bookstore has to get their little teeny tiny upcharge.
And that's just it
And
too.
it takes a very,
So really what they're going to do is they're gonna order from the same place and charge you. Now, if you wanna do that, if, you know, $40, $50 means convenience to you, you probably don't need to be in this class anyway, because you got a ton of cash.
So if we buy it from someone, is it all the same thing, even if they're like, is there different fees or something?
No, and you'll see, because some of the things that this book explains is still paper. We're not using paper, okay? We're using computers now. And that's how more advanced you guys are. When I went to school, it was on paper. I took a typewriter to the test and typed my test out. And this is how we did it right there. And you'll see the paper. This is what the paper looks like, right here. So what you would do is you flip it up like that. So you're reading the notes like that. Then you flip it. So you have these little things and you're typing your test like that. Exactly. Exactly. So see where you cats are now? You get to take your computer and do it on your computer, as you already built up your dictionary. So it doesn't matter if it came up right or not. You kind of misstroked something. It doesn't matter. You go through and you proofread it. You look at your notes. You're going to be able to see your notes on the side of your computer as it's coming up in English, so you see your notes. Oh, that didn't make sense. I shadowed it or whatever. Oh, that's what it was. You'll understand.
So we'll need our books by Monday and Beverly.
Well, you know, if you don't have it by Monday, don't freak out, okay? Try to get it. If you don't have it, you can share with somebody. It's not that big of a deal. You're not sharing for 14 weeks, okay?
So do you just want the book and not the dictionary, or?
You can get the dictionary. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. If it comes as a combo, get it as the combo. You know, but it has, God, and you guys can come up here and look at it as I'm doing, you know, this other stuff, but it's ridiculous. It has every word in here.
Is that the professional one or the student one? I see two options.
This is a
here.
professional.
Okay.
I suggest getting the professional because we'll be going through it, okay?
How do you structure your class as far as on breaks? Like, is it like one halfway through the class, kind of day, or you don't expect one?
Well, guys, sometimes I get so wrapped up in things that I don't really realize it, and God bless me with a huge bladder, so, I mean, I don't have to go that often, but if you have to go, go. You know, you don't have to ask me. We're not in high school, guys. We're not in grade school. You need something, you know, you have a sick kid, whatever. Oh man, I'm getting a phone call. One thing about the phones, I don't really care if you have them in here. Guys, texting is gonna drive me nuts. You know, and I text a lot. But while we're in here, it all comes down to respect. I'll respect my time. I'll respect your time. You respect me too. Got it? Okay? Put it on silent. If things happen, you know what? I'm getting a call. Oh, my kid's sick, man. I've got it. Dude, go. Go. I'm not going to hold you. And I'm not going to blame you either. I mean, if something happens that I got to go, guess what? We're going. Okay? But it's on an extreme emergency, not the pizza guy's coming and I got to take money, you know, because really? You better lie and tell me something's happening. The house is on fire. Not that the pizza guy is waiting on that cash. Okay?
What if the pizza's for you?
The pizza's coming here. Nice.
She's good.
You know what? You can miss Monday. You're getting an A on Monday. You're golden. You can set this room on fire and you're still going to pass this class. You bring a pizza. No, guys, I mean, you know, that's what I'm talking about, okay? You know, and that's all it does. It comes down to respect. That's it. I'm going to respect you. You respect everybody else, and they'll respect you, okay? If you have a problem with somebody, you come to me, okay? I'm hoping that's not going to happen. It's never happened in one of my, well, once, but it was a long time ago. And come to me. I'll fix it. I promise. I'll fix it, okay? So don't get freaked out with anybody. And, you know, I'm hoping that it doesn't happen that way, guys. We're here to help each other, okay? And eventually, you're going to get out. Some of you cats are going to get out. okay? And you want to have the attitude of helping people. You don't want to have that attitude of, you know what, ooh, man, I'm not helping her. I'm not helping her when she gets out. And then all of a sudden you need help and you get out. Guess who's not going to be there? The people that you kind of crapped on, okay? So don't do it, you know? And it all comes down, take this as a profession. Like, you know what? I'm a court reporter today. Today you just started, I'm a court reporter today. And you treat it like that. Would you show up late to a deposition? Would you show up late to court? I hope not. Those judges don't take that too kindly either. So you treat it like that job. You know what? I got to be there. The dressing up, you know, guys, come comfortable. You know, and I'm not saying like you're going to the club, you know. Dress comfortable. I would say dress professional, but it's hard, you know, you don't have to do that. I'd say more comfortable because we're getting into this, okay? And you're going to be here for a while. But, you know, you treat this as the job. You know, I'm going to get there early, set up, be ready to go. I'm ready to go, okay? If we start late, it's not because of me. That was one thing that my parents instilled in me too. If you're 10 minutes late, if you're 10 minutes early, you're already late, okay? So you know, but things happen, you know, when things happen, you know, with work, traffic, stuff like that, text me. You know, you're honorable, Mr. Zarate. I'm going to be 5 minutes late. You know what? I'll wait on you. I'm not waiting any more than 10. Okay? We're going to get started. But if you're 15 minutes late, don't worry about it. Walk in. Don't be a distraction. Do not be a distraction. Come in quietly, sit down, start setting up, pick up where we are. Then if we go back, it's like, well, you know, they were saying that you explained some stuff about this. Can you just explain it real quick? I'll keep you after maybe a couple of minutes, or I'll tell you. And if I don't feel like staying after, I'll tell you. Because I have those days too. I don't want to stay here longer than I have to because somebody showed up late because they were at Dave & Buster's playing games. Lost track of time. Guys, don't come to me with that. Do not come to me with that. All right? Treat it like a job. You wouldn't do that at your job. You'd get fired at your job. Well, guess what? There may be days you get fired here too because you do silly things. Things happen. Don't do it on purpose. Okay? Got it?
Got it.
All right. Yes, sir.
I guess housekeeper rules and what your opinion is on like food since it's kind of dinner time because we get out at 5:30 and we head right over here.
Yeah.
So what do you recommend?
You know what? If you want to pick something up and you want to eat out in the hall, you get here early enough to do it. You're not really supposed to have food in here. You're really not even supposed to have drinks. Guys, I don't care. If there's pizza droppings on the floor, if there's fries on the floor, we're probably going to get in trouble. And guess what? I'm not taking that grenade. Okay? So I'm going to throw you under the bus if you throw me under the bus. Got it? But you know what? I mean, and I'll be honest with you, and maybe I shouldn't be recording it, but other students did it. Other students did it. You know, you know, and just depending on how it goes, it's going to be tough to be in here for 3 hours, and we may take one break of 10, 15 minutes, but if you need to get up, you know, stretch your legs a little bit, just go to the bathroom, you do what you need to do. But I'm in here, we're not here to take breaks, guys. We're not, okay? And that goes back to the wasting people's time. I'm here to teach you, and if I can get the 3 hours in of teaching, then that's what I want to do.
So we're technically, even though 2 classes, we are 1 class.
You're 1 class,
Okay.
Yes, sir. But you're going to get grades on both classes or whatever, but that's how they constitute the hours, okay? Any questions, guys? It can be about anything, you know, whatever.
So what kind of pizza do you like?
Pizza. Pizza. Very,
Like Domino's
very good
or
question.
Pizza Patron or-
Pizza.
Okay.
Grimaldi's. But,
I do have a question.
yeah, this would be good. No, go ahead.
So since we don't have I don't have my book
Yeah.
yet, if I need to make copies, like for example, like Sylvia's book, like so I could be prepared.
You know
Do I
what?
need
Just
to
sit,
do that
just
or
sit
no?
by, just sit by her, and you'll understand. And if we need to, what we'll do is we'll all walk over there to 303, and I'll show you where the class is for those of you that don't know where it is, and we'll look at it. And guys, what I would
Yeah, let me see.
suggest is go in there, look at it, maybe pick a place, and sit there every doggone week. Okay? This way you get familiar with being there, you get familiar with surroundings. The plug's right here, I need to be here. The chair is, you know, change the chair if you need to, do whatever you need to do, okay? And it'll, you know, and it may change from week to week or whatever, but for the most part, you know, and if you have trouble hearing, sit up front. If you don't really care, you don't like being called on, I wouldn't sit in the back because that's usually the cats I call on because I know that they're back there because I don't want to get called on. So, you know,
I'm gonna sit in the back. Either way, you can call me, but I'm gonna sit in the back. I got my spot already reserved.
Perfect, perfect. You know, so, you know, and if you know that you need to get up a lot, you know, because you know, whatever, sit in the back, okay? Because if not, then you're gonna have to be coming through the front. And there's two doors just like this. So if you come through here, you're probably gonna get on camera coming in and out that many times. You know, so just, and we have like little stoppers on the doors. So, I mean, it makes it easy to kind of come in and out. Just be quiet, getting up, coming back in, setting up, getting ready to go, okay? Anything else about anything?
So is there like a syllabus or like on the wiki, is there like certain days that we have class? Like, is there like a map out of
We're not gonna do, I'm gonna give you homework. So that's really what it's more gonna consist of. So like your midterm grade is gonna consist of like your homework and stuff like that. A lot of your grade is going to depend on the final. It's gonna be on the final. Okay? So if you pay attention, you have a face and a pulse, more than likely you're gonna pass. If you pay attention. You know what I'm getting at? Yeah. So if you pay attention, it's gonna be cool. If you don't, we'll see you next semester. All right? Anything else? No?
I just need to talk to you after class.
Okay. On the pizza.
Yeah.
I'll start with speaking to you after she speaks to you.
Okay. And guys, if you have questions and you don't feel comfortable talking in front of the class, like I told you, the dumbest question is the one not asked, okay? Because if you're thinking it, somebody else probably is either. But there's personal stuff that comes up, come to me. If you keep me abreast of what's going on, I'll work with you the 200%. Remember? I'll work with you. But if you keep me in the dark, well, you should have known. You should have known that I only come on Mondays and Wednesdays. I don't come any Tuesday. No, I don't. And I really don't care, okay? So when you fail this class, we'll see you next semester because of dumb stuff like that. Guys, I don't have high tolerance for stupid stuff, okay? Keep me abreast of what's going on. I promise, I'll go 200% for you. But if you don't, it is what it is, okay? I'm that guy.
On the laptop, if we start with one and then like a few weeks later we want to switch out the laptop, that's okay?
Yeah.
Because it's that software download, we just download.
But you're gonna have to get the software downloaded again. You're gonna have to get your dictionary loaded again.
And you
So
can't
I wouldn't
switch it.
suggest that you do that,
Okay.
but you do what you want.
Okay.
You just have a computer here every week, ready to go,
Okay.
okay? Because what we need to do is we need to hook up to those computers and you're gonna be doing real time every week, okay? So we're not doing the paper, okay?
So I have a Mac also, and you said like Microsoft is better. So I was thinking like if I were to like go get something this weekend, would it be better to get like just a computer instead of like a?
You know, don't worry about getting the one with the beats and getting, you know, every blah, blah, blah that's on it. Just get something that's gonna work. You know, like a,
Like after this class year.
and if you want to, that's what I would suggest. is if you have the money, get a good one to where you can use it afterwards. You know, it just keeps going. You know, but if you want to pay, you know, $100 for one, you know, and it's going to get the job done, okay. And it'll still work. It's still going to be fine. You can transfer your stuff. It's not going to have the, you know, capacity of something, you know, bigger, better, you know. But I mean, guys, and I'm not saying go out and get the biggest, baddest, whatever, okay? The same thing with the machines. If you can get a used machine, get that. You don't want to go and buy a Diamante like I have. That's a $5,500 machine. You know what? You better plan to get out, which I'm sure y'all do, but you better plan to get out, okay? You don't really need that. All you need is the $800 machine that she was talking about. You can't use it afterwards. You can't use it in the profession because it's a student version, but you sell it back to the next guy that's taking the A to Z class. You bought it for $800, you sell it for $600, you used it for the year and a half, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years that you were here, you sold it to somebody else, you lost $200, $300. No big deal. Same thing with the books. It's not that big of a deal. You'll get your money back. You know, somebody else is coming in. So even if you don't, you know, you don't make it through the class, don't worry about it. Sell your stuff back. Don't use that as an excuse though. Okay?
When we sit for certification, we can use our student machines?
Yeah. So everything that I'm going to teach you, and everything that you're going to learn out there, once you take like the software class, all of that stuff, you'll be able to use on the state test. But it's going to be a different version once you get out. Not if you get out, when you get out. See what I'm saying? So if you pay attention to the small things that I say, you'll see. It's not about if, it's when. When. Keep that attitude, when. Okay? Any questions?
So did you prefer professors at Out Day, Dave?
Guys, it honestly, it really doesn't matter.
Okay, just making sure.
I prefer honorable. You don't have to. No, I mean, Dave, David, I've answered to far worse. So, I mean, it, you know, whatever is fine, guys. I mean, it, you know, I'm not that particular about stuff or whatever. I'm not that formal, you know, and I apologize. I'm terrible with names. Very, very seldom do I forget a face, but a names I'm pretty tough with. So if it takes me a little bit of time, I apologize. So if I keep asking you what your name is, you know, don't get offended, okay? One?
Yeah.
One.
Not
One.
yeah.
Any questions, guys, about anything? Let's get it out now. Nope. Okay. We'll see y'all next week.
Equipment. Yeah.